A very good morning, my dear students. To introduce myself, my name is Yogesh. I am working as an assistant professor at Government First Grade College, Sringeri. I hope you are all doing well. It has become our social responsibility to take care of our health and about our family during this pandemic situation. Please follow up the rules and regulations and SOPs, that means standard operating procedures that have been given by state government as well as from the central government. Dear students, in this video session, we are going to study about the second lesson of a rupee worth written by a short story written by R.K. Narayan, and it has been prescribed from the Coimbatore University for your class. It is a wonderful story, and at the end of the story, definitely everyone will have a wonderful message. That message, that moral quality should be carried forward to the further of our life. So the story is Of a Rupee Worth. Is a short story written by R.K. Narayan. Dear students, before getting into the lesson, let us have a small recapitulation of the previous class, what we have already discussed in our last class. Dear students, we have already discussed that the do forms, what are all the do forms and the usage of do forms, and the do forms in relation to the present and past tense. You have learnt how to frame sentences and how to use the do forms in present and past tenses. And the learning objectives of this session will help the students, means for you people to understand the context, the use of language and various themes in the story. Okay, and the session outcomes. At the end of the session, the outcome will be that is that it will help you to empower you to comprehend the story and write your reviews based on your understanding. After understanding the story, you will start writing of your own reviews about the same story. In this PPT video session, we are going to have some contents, which are all the contents we are going to discuss here. We are going to study about the author. Author is none other than R.K. Narayan. So he is a well-known and a very popular well-known popular writer of Indian English literature, and also introduction to the lesson, and which are all the major characters of this lesson, and Subbaya's wealth. Subbaya is one of the major characters in the story, and he is the protagonist, and he is going to have his own life by earning the wealth, and we are going to study the same wealth of Subbaya and plot overview, and also we will have a session summary, and at the end you will see some multiple choice questions that you have to answer yourself, and at last you will find references, and you are going to know where I have taken all these sources. Let us have a small discussion about the author R.K. Narayan. R.K. Narayan is one of the leading figures of early Indian English literature. So he is a very well-known writer in India. Some of his important novels are Swami and Friends, The English Teacher, The Financial Expert, Dark Room, Tiger of Malgudi, etc. Please try to read his novels, my dear students. Definitely you will enjoy his novels. Each and every novel will give us a special pleasure to us. In addition to his 15 novels, he has written totally 15 novels. In addition to his 15 novels, he has written more than 200 short stories. Out of 200 short stories, this story is one of them. Of a Rupee is one of the short stories, and Malgudi is the fictional town created by him. It is one of the important characteristics of Narayan's novel. He has created a fictional town called Malgudi. That place exists nowhere, but he has given that much of importance to that place, and Malgudi is one of the fictional town. And he is one who made India accessible to the people in foreign countries and gave a window to peep into Indian culture and sensibilities. So he made India accessible to the people of foreign countries. By reading Narayan's work, the people from foreign countries, from European countries, they have come to know the culture and tradition of our country only by reading his works. His writings portray the Indian ethos and remarkable simplicity and humor. He has taken all the elements of Indian people living style and other aspects. So this is about R.K. Narayan. And in the next slide, we are going to study about the introduction to the lesson. The lesson is of a rupee worth. So what do you feel after listening to the title of the lesson? So you may feel of a rupee worth. Nowadays we cannot see of a rupee, right? So 1 rupee of 1 rupees, we can say 1 rupee, but we are not using of a rupee. That means 50 paisa. We are not using anywhere, right? This is a story about greed, corruption, and inability to look beyond oneself. By reading this story, you will see how greediness and corruptions were exist in those days. In those days also we could see all this greed, corruption, and inability of looking one beyond oneself. The author also deftly touches upon the change from the Jamindari or feudal small town India to government controlled welfare India post independence. He invites the reader into this little slice of life and allows one to make connection to the larger world. By reading R.K. Narayan, you will find all these characteristics. And in the next slide, we'll come to know which are all the major characters in the story. Subbaya, so he is the protagonist and he is the major character of this story. He is a greedy rich rice merchant. He is not only greedy, he was also very rich. And unnamed poor man who goes to buy rice with half a rupee. This is another important character in the story. And unnamed poor man, his name is not given anywhere throughout the lesson. He's an unnamed poor man and he goes to buy rice with Subbaya. And the third important character, that is Subbaya's wife. Then who is Subbaya and how rich and how wealthy he was? Let us have discussion about Subbaya's wealth. Subbaya was very rich. How rich he was? He was very rich. He kept 5 cows and buffaloes for his wife and his 5 children. He had 5 children. He owned 30 acres of land, a dozen houses, and an unlimited quantity of jewels. By cheating the people, he owned all such wealth. He gained such a huge money, such a huge accumulation of wealth. He also lent money to the needy people at an exorbitant rate of interest and amassed wealth. How he used to cheat the people? He used to cheat people by lending the money. So he used to lend money at an exorbitant rate of interest. At the high rate of interest, he used to lend money to the people. People were just fed up of him. In short, he accumulated a lot of money. By cheating in his rice business, trading, he made a lot of money. And also he used to lend for the people at the high rate of interest. By doing all such things, he has become very rich. And let us have the plot overview. Subbaya was a rich, greedy merchant at the market gate in Malgudi. So Malgudi is a place where Subbaya and his family live. So it is one of the popular towns. And also I told you that it is a fictional town created by R.K. Narayan. So he was very rich and also very greedy. Greedy ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತಲ್ವ ನಿಮಗೆ? ಅತಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಸೆ ಪಡುವಂಥವನು, ತುಂಬ ಆಸೆ ಪಡುವಂಥವನು, ದುರಾಸೆ ಪಡುವಂಥ ಮನುಷ್ಯ. His sole purpose in life was to make money. His only purpose, his only ambition was to make money. It was his sole ambition to make money. He could go to any extent. He could go for any extent for making money. His money minting went on till war came and food control was brought in by the government. Everything was fine. Everything was going good. Till when? Till when? Till war came. When the war was declared and the food control was brought in by the government, it was a time of emergency. The government introduced food control. According to that bill, nobody can store the rice or any other eating materials without the permission of the government. This has become a great headache to Subbaiah. So has become a great selfish, and he began to stock rice and bribed the officials who came to inspect his shop and go downs. So on the other hand, that bill has become a great boon to Subbaiah. So he began to stock rice and he bribed the officials. So this is one of the major themes in this lesson, that is corruption. So in those days also we could see corruption. He bribed the officials who came to inspect his shop and go downs. He sold rice at a very high rate. So it has become a boon for him. One evening, when he had just closed his shop, a person came and requested him to give at least half a rupee worth of rice, as his children were very hungry. Subbaiah has become so rich and is also a very greedy person, and he doesn't want to donate a single rupee for the poor people. And he has amassed such a huge wealth and money. So one evening, an incident is going to be taken place. That is, one of the poor man, unnamed poor man, a person came to him and requested him to give at least half a rupee worth of rice, as his children were very hungry. Because he requested with Subbaiah that to give half a rupee worth of rice, because his children were suffering from hungriness. Subbaiah at the beginning did not agree, but after having a long conversation with him, at last he agreed to give only half a seer of rice. He wished to give only a half a seer of rice and asked him to wait in the street corner. He doesn't want that poor man to come into his shop, to his godown, because he doesn't want to reveal where his real godown was and how much he has stored in his godown. And the man agreed, and he started waiting in the corner of the street. The man waited for a long time and then went to Subbaiah's house and informed his wife. The man waited for a long time, but he did not find Subbaiah. So when Subbaiah was not there, Subbaiah didn't come. He went to his he went to his home and informed Subbaiah's wife has not come. Next morning, the godown was opened. They found Subbaiah's body crushed under rice bags. There was half a rupee coin by his side. The next morning, the godown was opened. It was opened by Subbaiah's wife, and they found Subbaiah's dead body crushed under the rice bags. So he wanted to give rice just half a seer. That night he went to bring the rice, but he was crushed under the rice bags. ಅಂದರೆ ಅತಿ ಆಸೆ ದುಃಖಕ್ಕೆ ಮೂಲ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅವನು ಹಾಫ್ ಎ ರುಪಿಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಆಸೆ ಪಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಗೋಡೌನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅವನು ತನ್ನ ಜೀವನ ಕಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಇಡೀ ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಮೂಟೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಅವನ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದು ಅವನು ತನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಣವನ್ನು ಕಳ್ಕೊತಾನೆ. ಅವನ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ದೆರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಹಾಫ್ ಎ ರುಪಿ ಕಾಯಿನ್ ಬೈ ಸೈಡ್. ಅವನ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹಾಫ್ ಎ ರುಪಿ ಕಾಯಿನು ಬಿದ್ದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅವನ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆಲೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಟ್ಟಿದಂಗಾಯಿತು, ನಾವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಗಾಯಿತು, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಫ್ ಎ ರುಪಿ. Let us have a session summary. Let us just have an information what we have discussed till now. The story is written by one of the leading figures of early Indian English literature, that is R.K. Narayan. And Subbaiah, the protagonist, is wealthy and a greedy rice merchant of Malgudi. He was a very wealthy and also greedy rice merchant. He amassed a lot of wealth by cheating the government and as well as the people. How he has accumulated such a huge wealth? By cheating the people, and he used to lend money to the people at exorbitant rate of interest. His end ironically comes due to the accidental toppling of rice bags. ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಅವನ ಕೊನೆ ಹೇಗಾಯಿತು, ಆಕಸ್ಮಿಕವಾಗಿ ಅವನು ಅಕ್ಕಿನ ತರಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೋದಾಗ, ಆಫೀಸಿಯರ್ ರೈಸ್ನ ತರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೋದಾಗ ಇಡೀ ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಮೂಟೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಅವನ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದು ಅವನು ತನ್ನ ಮರಣನ ಹೊಂದ್ತಾನೆ. Subbaya's tragic end is the fate that awaits hoarders. MCQs. Let us have discussion about multiple choice questions. It is the time to test your understanding. Total number of novels written by R.K. Narayan. How many novels Narayan written? 25, 20, 15, 10. The right option is 15. Altogether he has written 15 novels. And which one of the following novels is not written by R.K. Narayan? Swami and Friends, Sons and Lovers, The Dark Room, The English Teacher. The right option is Sons and Lovers. This is a novel written by D.H. Lawrence, one of the famous writers of English literature. And your third question here goes: Subbaya is a dash merchant. What he used to sell? He used to sell rice. Where does Subbaya sold rice? He sold at Market Gate. And option D, there is a small spelling mistake. Please correct the spelling mistake. Market rate. And the last question: why did the poor man come to Subbaya? Asking for money, asking for rice, asking for wheat, asking for food. So he came asking for rice. And here we are going to find references where I have taken the sources. Innovation Board of Editors, approved by the Board of Studies in English, and www.famouspeople.com, and also I have taken some points from the website www.bodnon.com. So thank you so much, my dear students. In our next class, let us have the same continuation part of this story. Till then, have a good time. Thank you so much.